You know how we knock 'em down.
CBT, CBT, CBT.
Yeah, we know we knock 'em down. You know we knock 'em down.
What up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk, and I'm back today with another video to discuss the latest boxing news. First up, we have newly crowned regular WBA middleweight champion Ryota Murata of Japan stating that he wants Bob Arum to secure a Golovkin showdown in 2018. And I'm glad to hear the young Murata aspire to face what we perceive as the best middleweight in the world. Although Golovkin did fight to a draw with Canelo Alvarez last September and will probably most likely face Canelo in a rematch May 5th on Cinco de Mayo, it's good to hear that Murata doesn't want to just sit on his title. He doesn't want to hold that belt hostage. He wants to fight the best. And although that fight will not likely happen early in 2018, if both guys continue to win, that is a fight that definitely can happen. Both guys can punch. Golovkin is way more experienced, probably the better fighter. Not probably, he is the better fighter. But this gives Murata a chance to improve before that fight potentially happens, because there's things he does need to improve on. But he's a 2012 Olympic gold medalist. He was the first guy to make Frenchman Hassan Ndam quit, he was the first guy to knock him out, Technical knockout. He made him quit after the 7th round. And he has big goals. He has, a strong desire to become, a true champion of the world. And I'm going to read his quote. I have a strong desire to become the true champion of the world, enriching my worth and reputation. I secured a valuable victory, and I strongly desire another. I am able to take the leap into the largest scenarios at a universal level. So that tells you, like I said, he has a strong desire to become the true champion of the WBA, the true champion of the whole middleweight division. He want to be known universally around the world as the guy, as a great fighter, as an all-time great. And you can't become that if you don't face other champions, top contenders, and win those fights. So he has the right mindset going forward. Obviously he's not going to get Golovkin in his first fight back, but he's going to get a fight. He's going to be able to make the first defense of his WBA regular title, and the WBA is in the process of resolving the issue to where they can, cut out all these extra champions, because Gennady Golovkin is the WBA super middleweight champion. And once they resolve the issue, it's going to force, presumably, these guys keep winning their fights, a fight between Golovkin and Murata to declare and to determine the one champion of the WBA. So it'll be one face of each, or at least of the WBA, that sanctioning body organization. So that's a good thing. So we don't have to worry about all these interim champs, these regular, mediocre, whatever you want to call them, champs, midterm champs, or whatever the shit is. Because it's very confusing. It's really dumb at the end of the day. One face, one man of each sanctioning body organization should be how it should be, in my opinion. But, like Murata said, he wants to be known as that guy, and the only way to beat that guy is to beat the guy or beat the guys. And he can't do that if he doesn't face Golovkin. He can't do that if he doesn't face Canelo Alvarez. So the middleweight division seems to kind of having life pumped back in it with the new addition of Demetrius Andrade and Jamal Charlo. You still got Daniel Jacobs. You got David Lemieux facing Billy Joe Saunders. You still got Golovkin, Canelo, and there's a few more guys that's going to come up from junior middleweight to 160 in the near future. So, like I said, props to Murata for winning, avenging his loss, stopping Hassan Ndam, and wanting to face Gennady Golovkin next year. Now the fight just has to get done. Next up is Oscar Valdez to be back in February or March. Frampton is still the target. As you all know, WBO featherweight belt title holder Oscar Valdez, who defeated Genesis Sarvenia in a back-and-forth fight where he was dropped on September 22nd, which took place on ESPN. He only fought twice this year. He's not going to fight again this year, but he wants to be back early 2018. He wants to fight 3 times. This is according to his manager, Frank Espinoza. And Oscar Valdez has really kind of dropped a few notches on a lot of people's, polls who thought very highly of him, as he was making his rise through the pro ranks. He just blitzed some guys who were former champions, Ivanovic, Gradovic, who beat Billy Gid twice, who's been in some, high, fights, been in some good fights with some top guys. He just blitzed him, stopped him, I think, in the 4th round, and then he kind of started, he fought Miriaga in a tough fight, didn't look good. Then he fought Genesis Savernia in a good fight, got dropped, didn't look good. Although he dropped Savernia and went on to win a unanimous decision, he just didn't look good. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what's the reason. I don't know if it's time for a trainer switch or he's not doing something, or maybe he's just hit his peak. He's reached his ceiling. But that remains to be seen. We'll find out. But the only way to find out truly is if he steps up his competition. And this is what Frank Espinosa had to say about the inactivity or the lack of, a lot of fights for Valdez. This is what he said. I want to have at least 3 fights for the next year, and we want to start off early in the year. Do another one a few months later after that, see how things are going, and barring injuries, do another one. But no less than 3, stated Espinosa, who has been told that with Top Rank's new deal with ESPN, that his client will have more opportunities to showcase his skills. We're able to fight 3 times a year. We've already had a conversation where Oscar would be getting that number of fights. So with that said, that's what we're looking for in 2018, said Espinosa. And the next question leads to, who's out there for Valdez to face, Like I said in the title of the article, they mentioned Carl Frampton. That is a very good fight. And apparently, by Top Rank, it has been mentioned, Carl Frampton has been mentioned, as a potential opponent. That's a very good fight and very tough fight because Carl Frampton is a very good fighter. And Oscar will have to be on his A game to defeat Carl Frampton. But there's also a guy they mentioned, Leo Santa Cruz, who comes to fight, and that will probably be a fight of the year type fight. Both guys come forward. I think Valdez is a little more skillful, more technically sound. He can box if he has to. But those guys are crowd pleasers. They're gonna be throwing punches and bunches, over 100 punches around, and definitely be a fight of the year candidate. And I would like to see that because Leo Santa Cruz is an experienced guy. He's been a champion for a while now. He's fought Frampton twice. They're split. They're 1-1. And, that's a fight that would be a very good fight. You got to also throw in the name of, IBF titleist Lee Selby or Scott Quigg, who fought Carl Frampton in a very good fight, former champion. But it's needless to say, it's time for Oscar Valdez to step up his competition, show that he's the guy everybody was proclaiming him to be. Show that these last 2 fights were just kind of fluky. He just wasn't himself. And show that, he's the real deal and that he's really, really ready to, take on these guys and, show his worth as a champion, man. And, because it gets to the point where there's only so much protecting Bob Arum can do before you're back in the corner. You got to face these guys. So, hopefully, we'll get a quality opponent for Oscar Valdez in the top of, 2018 when he returns. And, we just have to keep y'all updated and wait to see what they come up with. On to the next topic. WBO heavyweight champion Joseph Parker's December fight is off. Return is pushed to 2018, And, man, I don't like to shit on fighters, but Joseph Parker is not that good. Honestly, he's not. And a lot of people were very high on him a few years ago, saying that he was the guy, not Anthony Joshua, that he would beat Wilder and all these other guys. But he has clearly, I don't want to say regressed, he's just not that good to me. I mean, his fight with Huey Fury was horrible. You know, horrible, boring, pathetic, unwatchable. I mean, it was just a pathetic display from two heavyweights. A lot of people felt that Fury outboxed him and should have got the decision. But I think Parker, was the aggressor. He pushed the action. Although Fury was countering and trying to and making him miss it was just not a good fight for either guy. But Parker did what he had to do. He got the victory, move himself to 24-0 with 18 knockouts. And he's saying he wants a fight with Anthony Joshua, but won't entertain a fight with Deontay Wilder, which is crazy. But according to his manager, what's his manager's name? Hold on, just a second. No, according to his promoter, David Higgins, there was simply a lack of interest from the television networks. Well, can you blame him? Fuck, the fight was horrible. It was a pathetic display of heavyweight boxing. Should nobody have to watch that shit? And I don't blame television networks for not showing interest in putting, Joseph Parker on air, because WBO champion or not, he's going to have to face either Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder or a high-level heavyweight contender to be put on TV, honestly, because his fighting style is horrible. I mean, he's just not good. He's not pleasing to watch. So, he'll have to make his voluntary defense in the first quarter of 2018. So let's talk about some of these comments, or let's hear what his promoter has to say. It is highly unlikely now that he will fight in December, like we just said. Kevin Berry, Joseph's trainer, and I hope to put something together for December, but we have taken a team decision that is best we will start next year. It's a risk return business, and when you have that world title, because it's so hard to win it, you don't want to take a risk you don't want to take a risk all that unless the money and opportunity is right. We assessed several options and they were good, but there just wasn't enough money on the table, and it's not worth risking the belt. We took the decision to look back at other opportunities on our terms early next year. Joseph will 50-50 on fighting again this year. He has a young daughter whose birthday is in December. He wants to attend that. He would have done the job if the right opportunity presented itself, but he's also very peace, looking forward to having a bit of a break. So, there it is, man. He won't fight this year. No more this year. Nobody wants to see him. I mean, but he's just not pleasing to watch, man. And simple as that. Hopefully, we can get him involved in the unification bout, whether it's against Joshua or Wilder, early next year. If not, his value of being watched is none, even with him being the WBO champion. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Colossal Boxing Talk. Drop those comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought. Follow us on Twitter at Colossal CBT. Head over to Facebook. Smack that like button on the Colossal Boxing Talk Facebook page. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.